Have you ever found yourself in a conversation feeling like you know your point is valid, but struggling to articulate it convincingly? Or perhaps you've listened to a news report or an online debate, and something just didn't quite add up, but you couldn't put your finger on why. In our information-saturated world, where opinions often masquerade as facts and emotional appeals frequently overshadow reason, the ability to think clearly and construct sound arguments is more critical than ever. It's the superpower that helps you make better decisions, understand complex issues, avoid manipulation, and communicate your ideas with precision and impact. But how do we acquire this superpower? In our previous episode of the Thinker's Toolkit, we introduced philosophy as the love of wisdom, the systematic inquiry into life's biggest questions about reality, knowledge, morality, and how we should live. But asking profound questions is only the first step. To genuinely pursue wisdom, to seek meaningful answers, and to understand complex truths, we need a reliable method. That method is logic. Logic is the very heart of critical thinking. It provides the essential tools for constructing coherent arguments, identifying flawed reasoning, and navigating the vast sea of information and opinions that surrounds us. Today, we'll introduce you to the fundamentals of logic and argumentation, empowering you to think more clearly and effectively than ever before. So, what exactly is logic? At its simplest, logic is the systematic study of valid reasoning. It's the discipline that provides principles and criteria for distinguishing sound arguments from unsound ones. It's not about what you think, but how you think about it. Imagine your thoughts as a journey. Logic provides the map and the rules of the road, ensuring you arrive at your destination, your conclusion, by a legitimate route, your premises. It's crucial because it helps you make better decisions. By logically evaluating options and their potential consequences, you can arrive at more reasoned choices in your personal and professional life. It protects you from manipulation. Understanding logical fallacies allows you to spot errors in reasoning used by advertisers, politicians, or anyone trying to persuade you without a solid basis in fact or reason. It enables effective communication. When you can construct clear, logical arguments, your ideas become more persuasive, understandable, and impactful, whether you're writing an essay, giving a presentation, or engaging in a discussion. Logic is the silent architect behind all rigorous thought, from scientific inquiry to legal arguments to everyday problem solving. Before we dive deeper, it's essential to understand the difference between a simple statement or opinion and a logical argument. An opinion is a personal belief or judgment that may or may not be based on facts or reasoning. For example, chocolate ice cream is the best flavor. This is a preference, not something you argue logically. A statement is a declarative sentence that is either true or false. For example, the sky is blue. An argument, in logic, is a set of statements called premises offered in support of another statement called the conclusion. Its purpose is to provide reasons for believing something. Consider this. Premise 1, all humans are mortal. Premise 2, Socrates is human. Conclusion, therefore, Socrates is mortal. Here, the first two statements' premises provide reasons for us to accept the third statement conclusion. Logic primarily evaluates the structure of this relationship. Does the conclusion follow necessarily or probably from the premises? It's not just about whether the premises are true, but whether they support the conclusion in a coherent way. There are two primary types of logical reasoning, each serving a distinct purpose: deductive and inductive. 1. Deductive reasoning. This type of reasoning moves from general principles to specific conclusions. If the premises are true and the argument's structure is valid, the conclusion must be true. Think of it like a mathematical proof. If it equals B and B equals C, then it must equal C. A classic example, premise 1, all birds have feathers. General truth. Premise 2, a robin is a bird. Specific instance, conclusion, therefore a robin has feathers. Specific, guaranteed conclusion. In deductive arguments, We look for validity. Does the conclusion logically follow from the premises? And soundness, is the argument valid and are all its premises actually true? A valid argument with true premises is a sound argument, guaranteeing a true conclusion. 2. Inductive reasoning. This type of reasoning moves from specific observations or experiences to broader generalizations or probable conclusions. It offers probabilities, not certainties. This is the basis of most scientific inquiry. We observe patterns in specific cases and then infer general rules. Example, premise 1. Every swan I have ever seen is white. Specific observation. Conclusion, therefore, all swans are white. Generalization, probable. While this conclusion might be likely based on the evidence, it's not guaranteed as we know black swans exist. In inductive arguments, we evaluate their strength. A strong inductive argument is one where the premises make the conclusion highly probable. A weak one makes it improbable. Both deductive and inductive reasoning are vital for thinking clearly, but they serve different roles. Deductive reasoning helps us apply established truths. Inductive reasoning helps us discover new ones and build theories based on evidence. Even with a grasp of arguments and reasoning types, our thinking can be derailed by logical fallacies, errors in reasoning that undermine the validity or strength of an argument. Learning to identify these common pitfalls is a powerful defensive tool for your mind. Here are a few widespread examples. 1. Ad hominem, Latin for to the person. This fallacy attacks the person making the argument, rather than addressing the argument itself. Example, you can't trust what she says about climate change. She drives a gas-guzzling car. Whether she drives a gas guzzler doesn't invalidate her scientific arguments about climate change. 2. Straw man fallacy. This occurs when someone misrepresents or exaggerates an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. They build a straw man version of the argument, knock it down, and then claim to have refuted the original. Example, my opponent wants to reduce military spending. Clearly, he wants to leave our country defenseless and vulnerable. Reducing spending doesn't necessarily mean leaving the country defenseless. Liking this so far, smash that like button and subscribe for more. You won't want to miss what's next. 3. False dichotomy or false dilemma. This fallacy presents only two options or solutions as if they are the only possibilities, when in fact, more options exist. Example, either you're with us or you're against us, ignoring the possibility of neutrality or disagreement on specific points while still being generally supportive. 4. Slippery slope. This fallacy asserts that a relatively small first step will inevitably lead to a chain of related, often negative, consequences without sufficient evidence for that chain. Example, if we allow students to use phones in class, they'll stop paying attention, then fail their exams, then drop out of school, and eventually become unemployable. This exaggerates the inevitable negative consequences of a small initial action. These are just a few of many fallacies, but recognizing them empowers you to critically evaluate arguments. Whether you encounter them in political speeches, advertisements, or even casual conversations. Understanding logic and argumentation is more than an academic exercise, it's a vital life skill. It transforms you from a passive receiver of information into an active, critical thinker. It enables you to build stronger cases for your own ideas and to skillfully deconstruct the flawed arguments of others. This foundational element of the Thinker's Toolkit is your essential guide to thinking clearly and navigating the complexities of knowledge. Which logical fallacy have you encountered most often in your daily life, and how might you respond to it now? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Our journey into the Thinker's Toolkit continues. In our next episode, L1.3, Ancient Philosophers and Their Core Ideas, we lines meet the titans of early thought who laid the groundwork for many of the ideas we've explored today. To continue expanding your intellectual horizons, subscribe to the Knowledge Compass and hit the notification bell. Share this video with anyone eager to sharpen their mind. Thank you for exploring with us.